Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will call the Budget, Finance, and Investment Committee to order. And the first item on our agenda is to approve minutes, and that was our May 31st meeting, and that was a review of the Board of Education budget proposal. Commissioner Schaefer, thank you.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Jernigan. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. That motion carries. Mr. Beatty, our county trustee, will give the investment report, and you should find that at your places.
Thank you, ma'am. Pretty simple to that. This month, we didn't have any bids over the last month, and our LGIP rate is 0.14. And the news, as most of you know, over the last week from the investment side of the world was less than positive. So all thoughts about when the Fed might raise rates and all those things are now pushed back as the rates are not improving.
Move to approve.
Commissioner Jernigan, thank you.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Jordan. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Beatty.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, if you will locate your fund condition report, as always, we will begin with the development tax report.
We received $51,750 in the month of May. That brings our total for the year $783,750.
Okay, gentlemen, let's move now to cash balances.
Our cash balances at the end of May was $158,051,000, with $155,563,000 being operating funds, $2,487,000 being borrowed funds.
Any questions about cash balances?
Just one thing I want to talk about is the total in Fund 189 is $1,123,000. Later on, you know that we're going to be doing, the school board will be opening bids for Stewart's Creek and end of June, so that we have some operating money to pay for those construction costs. Before we go to the market, we have a interfund capital outlay note later for $15 million to provide funding for that. That will be later.
Commissioner Jernigan, thank you. Gentlemen, we need a second.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Jordan. Discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, gentlemen, please locate your financials from the insurance director, Mrs. Stinson.
We'll start with Fund 264. There's the second page of that report. Looking at the month of May, our per employee per month is at $612.15. Our prior year to date was at $680.90. Shows a 4.5% reduction when you compare one period over another. When you add in the Care Here cost for the month of May, our total per employee per month insurance cost was at $631.91. Year-to-date average is at $680.66 compared to prior year-to-date average, which was at $712.79. Any questions?
How many more employees do we have? Roughly. So we're paying more
Right.
overall.
Right, so if you look at May of last year, we were at 4,832 and enrolled. And we're at 4,990
Steve, I'm
enrolled
trying to have it
in
right
May
now.
of this
Oh,
year.
it should be right under
We've been
there.
as high as 5,016 throughout the year, so we have a little bit of fluctuation. If you'd like, we'll go to Fund 266. Year-to-date, we're at $847,926.39, which represents 97% of prior year-to-date, which was $871,311.02. We're a little bit up this month for some settlements and medical that we paid out above what we typically pay in a month, but still we're trending well overall for the year.
Commissioner Jernigan, thank you.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Fee. Discussion or questions for Mrs. Stinson?
Thank you.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. Gentlemen, turn to Section 3 in your notebooks, and we will begin with the general fund budget amendments. And as you are going to notice tonight, we'll be doing this for each of the funds, starting with the general fund revenue adjustments. Mrs. Nolan.
For our new commissioner, we do this every year at June, and we are estimating revenues to the end of the year, and we, of course, we estimate the revenues a year in advance. This is where we're trying to firm up and try to get the revenues as close as possible as that we think we will end with. So each of the categories, you can see where each individual line item that we're increasing and decreasing various revenues. If I take you all the way, you can peruse through and see all the increases and decreases. The net increase to estimated revenue is $1,463,275, but once we make the adjustments for the expenditures and then putting the into the reserves, we have a net decrease to the unassigned fund balance of $7,325. Our net increase to revenue is $1,463,275. The amount increase for the expenditures and reserves is $1,470,600.
Yes, we will need a motion for revenue adjustment for the general fund, yes. We have a motion.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Jordan. Discussion or questions for Mrs. Nolan on revenue adjustments for the general fund?
These are all necessary adjustments. I mean, you have to make your best guess
Well, I mean, it's
at
our
the
best
first of
guess.
the year.
It's almost
And then you
like-
have to come back and get the numbers you realize, just plug them in. It's just housekeeping is all it is.
I mean, that's what this is, but then you can kind of see, I didn't know if anything particular jumps out at you. There's, bank excise tax is one that is just a very hard one for us to key on. We get this, it's a once time a year type things, and the revenue is all over the board.
$7,300 difference from an
Um,
estimate. Pretty darn close, isn't
Well,
it?
bank excise, no, it's $173,000.
You're talking about total.
overall.
Oh, in total. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, in total.
You get back to within $7,300, you can see that.
Yeah.
Call the roll on this, probably. Gentlemen, any further discussion?
Just to help clarify something for me, like on the very last page is restricted for administration of justice. That's what's been put aside, or is in the
That will
fund for
be-
the justice center?
That, the way that all these amendments work, there will be, there's revenue for administrative that is specific for this.
this,
Now,
yeah.
once we close, there'll be a process where they'll say, well, what expenditures could this money be used for? And then it will be, you know,
Mhm.
how much actually is going to be in the ending balance.
Right, I got you.
So the registrar's office was off that much? 246,000
Where are you at?
from projection, or amended total, basically.
Okay, let me go to the
Page
register.
4.
1, 2, 4.
That's excess fees.
Okay, but drop down to in lieu. This is a change of how they used to report. Remember, they were excess fees, and now they're fees in lieu of salary. So that's a decrease, but you have an increase. See where it says fees
That's
in lieu
what
of
it's showing
salary?
right there,
That's
okay.
the offset. So really, it's for that fee offices thing, it's kind of a net increase.
Yeah.
It's just a different way that we're accounting for those two offices.
It's so we can't ever keep it straight is why they did that, right?
No, it's gonna be good, it's gonna be good. It's just that transition year is always hard when you go from one way of doing it to another way.
No, I'm talking the whole situation. It's-
Any further discussion, gentlemen? We do have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes?
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes, and we will be doing revenue adjustments for the other funds, as you see in our agenda. A budget amendment from the county attorney's office. Mrs. Nolan?
This amendment is needed to provide sufficient funds for the rest of the year, and our shortage resulted from the employee retiring and paying out the accumulated leave. So that's a request from $5,000 from unassigned fund balance for the secretary line item, $3,350, and the related benefits.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner P., thank you, and Commissioner Sandlin seconded. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes?
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. From the Election Commission, we have two amendments. Mrs. Lester, good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
Fine, thank you. If you will begin, please, we will start with the one on your postal charges and travel.
Yes, ma'am. The first amendment that we have asked is to move some funds from the election worker line item to postage as well as to travel. And the postage is self-explanatory. I believe that the postage that we have actually been incurring this past fiscal year was a little greater than what the previous administrators had anticipated. We are required to send out certain notices by law by certified mail, return receipt requested, and I believe that's $4.50, $5 a piece every time we send out one of those. The travel was to cover the expenses of traveling to the TACIO convention, which is the Tennessee Association of County Election Officials, and that is mandated by the state election office that the administrator attend that training. It also covered the travel expenses of the election commissioners and the staff who went to attend that. At the conference every year, they cover all the changes that have been passed in the legislation, and this year we had quite a few, so it was very important that we attend that. and that's what the First Amendment is for.
We put these together.
Yes, if you'll explain the second one, we'll take it as one vote.
Yes, the second amendment that we'd asked for was to take funds from the account number 101, which is the administrator's salary account. And as you all are probably aware, there were about 4 months that an administrator was not employed by the county, so that saved a significant amount of funds. We are in need of a newer, updated copy machine. The one that we have was purchased in 2005, and it does not have the function to be able to scan documents to a PDF. And given some of the recent legislation, there's going to be a lot more documents that are going to be sent down and things that we're going to need to be scanning. We were able to find a copy machine that will function in that capacity for our needs for $2,000 less than what the Election Commission purchased in 2005. So I felt like that was a pretty good deal. It is going to be purchased under the GSA contract, so we will get the best price on that. With our old copy machine, we do own that, and it will be moved at a later date down to the Vine Street warehouse, where they currently have 2 old, smaller copy machines that do not function very well at all. So that is a good copy machine. Also, with this purchase, it will pay for itself very quickly, because currently we're paying 2.5 cents for every copy that comes out of that machine, regardless of what the count is. The minimum is based on that figure, as well as any overage. And I was able to negotiate a blanket deal that will cut that a little better than half. So instead of $2,000 a year on our service and maintenance agreement, it will be about $1,000 a year, and that's for both machines. So we're getting an extra machine for half the price, and that's for the same amount of copies. So that's what the second amendment is being asked for.
Motion to approve, Madam Chairman.
Commissioner
Second.
Sandlin, seconded by Commissioner Schaefer. Further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Stormwater, Mr. DeMasi. Oh, I'm sorry, I said stormwater, we need to do planning and engineering, but Mr. DeMasi come, and Mr. Corbett will just be here with us. I apologize. We'll start with the planning and engineering, the software upgrades. Mr. DeMasi.
Yes, thank you, and good evening, Commissioners and Mayor Burgess. The first, we have 2 different requests here that Planning and Engineering is proposing. The first that I'll explain is really just moving around some funds within our budget. We're taking some money out of our 191 line item board committee member fees. We've got quite a bit of leftover in that due to some of the Planning Commission meetings not happening because of no rezoning hearings, those kind of things, and one Board of Zoning appeal meeting as well. We're proposing to take some of the money out of there to put some into 411, which is data processing and supplies, about $3,170. That'll allow us to upgrade the machines, our computers in our office, to a different version of Microsoft Office. Right now, most of our machines are running either Office 2000, or there's maybe a couple that run 2002 or 2003. But this will be able to allow us to get all the machines pretty much in our office on the same system, which would be very beneficial for us. The other increase that you see there is for $6,000 to our consultant line item. Of course, this goes with the comprehensive plan project that the Parsons Brinkerhoff consultant team is engaged in. The last invoice that they had given us, the original amount that we had anticipated for this budget year went just a little bit over that by about $6,000, so that will cover that. And I just want you to know that that doesn't change the amount of the contract or anything, really just whatever. If we pay a little bit more in this fiscal year, next fiscal year, we just won't pay as much. So it's really just shifting again around a little bit of money within our budget with the existing funds that we have. Ms. Nolan, I believe.
Yes, and let's add this next information, and it can be just one vote also, gentlemen.
This is a safeguard amendment. The amendment that Mr. Demasi did takes us through the end of May, and that's the last bill. If a bill should come in before then, we'll have 1 month's worth. So we're not sure if we'll get a bill in time that we've got to put it back to this time period. So that's all this is to have sufficient funds in that line to pay. It's like Mr. Demasi said, if we do pay it this year, then what we will pay less than what we have budgeted into the next year.
That's correct. And then just so the commissioners are aware, the record of how they do their invoices is generally every 2, 3, 4 months sometimes. So I don't anticipate another one, but as Ms. Nolan said, this is really more of a safeguard than anything. So.
Motion to approve, Madam Chairman.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner P. Discussion?
So next year's budget is gonna be reduced by 5,000?
Well, we've got, I think it was 30,000 what we have budgeted next year, so.
But yeah, and there was a couple of different, there was the remainder for that and then a couple other smaller projects that we were looking at. But I think even what we had originally anticipated was more than what we would have needed. So we'll still have, we should have surplus in that line item this next year.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Mr. Corbett?
Under stormwater, we've got a couple of things. One, each year, for information, we hire our interns to survey our streams in the county. They have to go through and look at all the outfalls. We use a Trimble unit on that. We bought with a grant back in '85. That Trimble unit had gone out. Our estimates repaired, it's over $1,800. And
Did you say
basically,
85?
no, did I say 85? I said 2005.
Okay. Technology might have changed from 85.
Excuse me, I apologize. Trying to think ahead here.
Crank the strap.
So that piece of equipment's gone out. It costs around $1,800 to repair it. If I repair it, then I basically got a piece of equipment that could go out any other time. A replacement unit and associated software and stuff, it's gonna run us around $4,100. So what we've done is move money from several line items within the stormwater budget to allow us to purchase that piece of equipment. And then again, it's used by the stormwater program for all the inventory they have to do on the streams.
Motion to approve.
And, excuse me, just a moment, Commissioner P. We're also doing something similar with this budget too, and we'll add that to your motion if you don't mind, Commissioner P., but
On this one, we've had some stormwater problems up off Old Nashville Highway. There's a lot of houses up there that get flooded when it rains quite a bit. Part of it is because these subdivisions are old and the ditches are full of silt. We're working on cleaning that stuff out. Another problem we have is there's a pipe that goes underneath the railroad that conveys all this water, and it's 24 inches, and it's not large enough to handle the volume. Working with the railroad to upgrade that pipe is really difficult. And so we got with Dr. Ogden out at the university to do a study in that area to do some injection wells. The injection well technology, a lot of it's familiar with Bowling Green because of the same type of geology. They've got over 200 of those injection wells up there, and most of them work. We've got a couple here in town, one at the university and one over by CUD that are working pretty well. So our attempt was to put in these injection wells to handle some of the extra volume of water we have in that area so we can handle the capacity. And to do that, we've done a study with Dr. Ogden, and we need to move $5,900 from the general fund into the stormwater.
Engineering services.
Engineering
yeah.
services line, I'm sorry,
Stormwater.
to take care of the study that was done by Dr. Ogden.
The injection wells, are they as simple as a well that gravity flows into it, or is it a mechanical, electrical pump?
It's a
or something
gravity,
that force
it's a
it feeds
gravity,
it in?
no, it's a gravity flow type thing. It's basically an upside down well. You got the screen on top, and you're looking for a large hole or maybe a split in the rock so that the water can go in it. And you have to be careful you don't put it in a
Spot where it spews back out.
right,
when
where
the
it
water's
comes back
coming.
out, or make sure you don't put it in an aquifer used for drinking water. There's several aquifers we have in the county that have higher dissolved solids that you couldn't use for drinking water, high in sulfur and these types of things. So we were trying to identify approximately 6 locations in that area. The Dr. Ogden kind of did a field survey ahead of time, said these are potential places so we can inject that water.
How far do you case those?
It depends on the aquifer you go down to. Some of the ones we've seen are 20 feet deep, and I've seen examples of down 300 feet. So basically your screen goes down, and
But this money's for the study, not for.
that's just for the study. Just for the study.
I'll add that to my motion.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner P.
Second.
And seconded by Commissioner Jordan.
So have you attempted with CSX on putting a bigger pipe in, or just
We
dropped the idea on?
We kind of dropped the idea. We didn't attempt on this pipe. We tried another situation down south off of 231 North subdivision down there, and they just don't, they won't even talk to you about it.
There's one spot over on Florence Road. It's the city and the county both been trying to get CSX to do something for as long as I've been a commissioner, and they don't really want you messing with their right of way where their train track is.
And we actually had a problem. They're supposed to do the maintenance on that too. The pipe that conveys all this water was covered up with rock, but they wouldn't allow us to get our little public works crew in there with the backhoe and clean that out. So it took us about 6 months to get a crew in there just to move the rock away from the front of the pipe that's there to get the water through. It's just really slow work.
I was just gonna say, I mean, I've worked with them in 3 or 4 different instances, and putting sewer under, water under, culverts under, and it does take some red tape, but you know, usually about 3 months and you got it done, so.
It's pretty fast.
Yeah.
Give them a location with us and run it over on the cemetery.
Yeah. We'll try it.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yeah.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Information technology, Mr. Robertson. Good evening.
Good evening. We have the need for 2 late-year amendments, one to our communications line item and one to our data processing services line item. We're able to do this without drawing from unallocated by reducing several line items, many of which are in our GIS group. You see there that we have 2 line items really that OIT consists of. The communications increase, as I state there at the bottom of the amendment, is due to redundant internet circuits during a changeover from one to another. We have actually requested reimbursement for a portion of that due to the overlap that was the fault somewhat of AT&T during this process, and due to a billing issue where we were actually being billed where we were actually being billed for a circuit that resided at 911, which we've asked for reimbursement for. So this too may be a safety amendment. The increase in 317 DP services is due, really, I looked back at it, there's no single large item that led to our need for a significant increase here at the end of the year. It's really numerous unanticipated needs throughout the county in our support of the communication systems, telephone systems in the various buildings, both old and new. I believe a VMware virtual server piece of software. The maintenance for that it cost about $10,000 more than we anticipated. That's the only large chunk. Other than that, it's just numerous items that have accumulated to the point we'll be able, if we do this amendment, to pay for our Barracuda spam filter that keeps employees from being inundated with spam. We'll be able to pay that here at the very end of the year.
Move to approve.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Sandlin. Any discussion or questions for Mr. Robertson to explain all those different terms? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Robertson. Mrs. Nolan, General Sessions Court.
This is a request to provide sufficient funding in the deputy line item. It was short due to turnover. There was funds in their other salaries and wages, $1,256.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Sandlin, seconded by Commissioner P. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. From Juvenile Court, Judge Davenport.
This is very small, I know it is, but we cannot let a payroll line item be over. Even if it was $32, they would still sing us in an audit.
$38.
It was 32, the line item is deputies.
Gotcha. So moved.
Commissioner Sandlin, seconded by Commissioner Jernigan. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. From the Sheriff's Department and Jail.
Got the husband-wife team tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Except for Robert's not my husband wife.
Mr. Russell and Sheriff Arnold. Okay, we have 11 amendments, and we will start
That bad, huh?
28, 9, 10. Is that the one you have with? Yes.
Here you go. Sorry about that. Oh,
Do you
okay.
I'm not sure if you have it in the right,
I'll
in the
just
same
shuffle-
order that we
I'll
have.
shuffle my stack. Sorry to be so long tonight, so we're gonna start off with this page. Okay. Needed some overtime money for the jail, so we're gonna pull some money out of other contracted services, which is the inmate medical. We had some funds left over from there from state reimbursements, so we're gonna put that into overtime, 24,000, and then the rest of the items there are the related benefits for that item there.
Mhm.
Can I keep going?
Yes, you,
Okay.
yes, you may. Sale of
Y'all gonna
property.
cut out that overtime.
We're trying, but we've also increased inmates by 60 this week alone, so.
Yeah. Good old roundup.
Yeah.
But you never had that in me. The next one's the sale of property, where the state of Tennessee is gonna widen widen 99 over there. And so they're gonna go to 5 lanes eventually. They bought a portion of the property over there. And so we used some of those funds to pave a little access road over to Malloy to help us with ingress and egress off the property, to go out the light there next to where the dairy is over there. So we're going to pull that, and then the balance, I think, of that funds will then be put into the unassigned fund balance, so, for later projects. What's next on the list that you got there, the $90? Yeah,
Yes.
the 90 was to cover a shortage in salaries and wages for the maintenance personnel.
Mhm.
So simple, and there to cover through the end of the budget year.
Okay, and the next one the next ones are numbered, so.
All my numbers, yeah. So bear with me. Yeah, start there, yeah. Okay, $100 came in to transfer, just to cover a storage space that we got, all of our computer equipment that was donated from the hospital, just to cover that to the end of the budget year, and we should be about done with that. Number 2 is we're going to pull some more money out of other contracted services to cover the food budget for the rest of the year for all the additional inmates we've got over there. The next one is some money that came into contributions, and we want to put that back into the 399 to kind of help boost that account. The next account, we're going to pull $20,000 out of maintenance and repair of vehicles to put into uniforms and vehicle parts. And of course, you know the maintenance and repair on vehicles and the parts are 2 different items, so one's a labor account. Then, number 5, other revenue was funds that came in for the repair of our roof that we went during the storm damage that we had about a month ago?
About a month ago.
And we're going to put that back into the repair and maintenance of the jail. The, let's see, insurance recoveries, 101-49-7, that's where we had a patrol car that got totaled, and those funds came in to cover that.
In the past, I believe we've asked for additional funds to then purchase a new vehicle if the total vehicle was not enough to cover, or the check wasn't enough to cover a whole new one. So we're asking for money to help get us a new vehicle. So we're going to pull that out 718. So, and then the next one is funds came in as a contribution for the K-9, and we're going to put that under 399 program, and they'll just write some stuff out of that for the K-9 unit. And then, just the other day with the roundup, we've got, in addition, we're going to pull some more money out of the 399 on the jail side account to cover all prisoner clothing and bedding. And that's it. And you'll have to see me again in July.
And we want to say thank you to the workhouse and also Wilson County and Davidson County for getting us mattresses. Keep the workhouse loaned us 20 mattresses. Wilson County loaned us about 30 mattresses. Davidson County has loaned us some jumpsuits. So we've had to go around begging and borrowing to get us through, but we need to buy some of our own stuff.
With this increase, 60 prisoners, that's where you're talking about you needed the mattresses and the jumpsuits. I mean, our population's been a lot higher than that, and I understand, you know, the wear and tear. Is that what's happening? You had to get rid of some of the old mattresses?
Yes, as they wear and tear, and you get rid of them, and the numbers have been lower, so you just get rid of them. And we've never bought new ones at the time. And that's one thing, with our budget for next year, we're looking at starting to replace a lot of our older, wore-out mattresses that are breaking and crumbling for different reasons. We're going to start replacing those. But due to our population increases, you know, we're hurting right now.
And the new vehicle, what will that be?
That'll be a Crown Vic.
So you were able to find one?
That's right. Yeah, Ford still got some in this year, because this is, you know, they're getting rid of what they have in their stock of the Crown Vics.
Yeah, they're out to be purchased right now. They've still got them, but it's not going to be forever. And we figure probably by the tail end of
By
this calendar
they'll be
year,
out of them.
by this calendar year, they'll probably all be gone. So, or at least all the ones that be pretty painted white, and we'd have to repaint to make a patrol car out of them. So that's kind of where they're going to be. Motion to approve the amendments.
Thank you, Commissioner Sandlin.
Sure.
Seconded by Commissioner Jernigan. Commissioner Schaefer?
Ask a question about the uniforms.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is purchasing those, more of the new uniforms that you are going to? And are we up to snuff now? Or, you know, it's the end of the year, hope that we...
No, we're slowly switching out all of our uniforms. You got 461 total employees.
Okay.
Not every single one of them has uniforms, but you got, you know, 5 uniforms apiece going to a new material. So we're starting to slowly start that process.
Okay, this amount here, 15,000.
Each shirt,
how many uniforms?
Each shirt is $84 for a shirt. A pair of pants is roughly about $75.
They bulletproof?
No.
Okay.
Gentlemen, any further discussion? Call the
We don't
roll.
wear blue jeans.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes.
Commissioner P?
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin?
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Ely?
Yes. The 2011 COPS grant application for the Sheriff's Department?
Yes, you've got that. Okay, I think there may be some updated numbers. Did you get those?
No. Who's that?
Okay, yeah, I had that, but then the building got struck with lightning and all the power went down, so I'll see if I've got all that or not. Maybe I do. That may be the same thing I've got here. What we're wanting to do is we're
just wanting to apply for
We're wanting to apply for a grant that would be up to 10 positions due to the number of people in the county is the way it's done. So this grant is the 2011 COPS grant. The way it's set up is that it would be, we're going to apply for 10 new officers. We don't know how many we'll get. We may get approved for 1 up to 10 or none. We may not get approval at all. Just depends on how many funds across the United States that they give out to each county that applies.
So what we've done is we put a program together where the recurring cost of 10 entry-level officers is the $463, is that what he's got on there?
$463, yes.
Hang on, let's see. Yeah, oh no, it's actually the $492,790, that's updated. It'll be sworn, because they're both sworn officers, yeah. And so, I think you got some adjusted salary figures, is what he's got here, so. So it'd be $492,790. Now, the grant covers the salaries of the officers for the first 3 years. The agreement is if you hire 10 guys, then on year number 4, the county's got to pick up the bill. So it's basically a 25% matching funds over 4 years. And then in addition to that, which I don't think you have on your second page, but anyway, our non-recurring costs, which would be the equipment to equip these officers, will be an additional $452,000. That would be new vehicles, sending them to the academy, all their basic equipment, and in-car camera. That's
The
where
grant
if we
does
can
not
put,
cover that
and the
part.
grant does not cover that part. No, sir.
Uniform, badges, guns, everything?
Yeah, that's the basic equipment. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's that figure you got?
The basic figure to outfit them and all
It's
that,
gonna cost us.
$45,000.
Per employee that we get granted. So for every new officer that we hire. Yes, sir.
This is just to apply. We
Well, no,
can
it don't
always-
cost anything to apply.
Yeah, it don't cost anything to
Yeah,
apply.
yeah.
This is just seeing,
I mean, if they come up and say, yeah, you can get all 10, we could always have the opportunity
That's
to
right.
back up at that point in time and say,
How many do you want? Yes, sir.
or
Yeah.
4, or whatever.
Yeah, but we would have the number in front of us at that
Yes,
point in
sir.
time.
Yes, sir.
And know how many cars, badges, guns, uniforms, all we have to do, and we could just say, no thanks.
Right.
Yeah. In
So it
fact, they
doesn't cost you anything at this point in time.
don't cost anything to ask right now.
We could be told that we only get 5, too.
Yeah, you can be told you're only getting one.
Or
We can be
none.
told we're not gonna get any. I'll be honest, I think Eagleville's got a better chance right now than us of getting this grant. But, I mean, because they've applied and we've applied, so.
Yeah, the way this works is you have to guarantee them that 4th year, but after that, that position could be cut if we had to.
Yes, sir.
And you would think due to population increases over the next 4 years, we're gonna be adding some officers anyway, with or
I
without.
would hope.
grant.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, I did look at the statistics for the population census, and we've gone up 47% in the past 10 years.
On calls,
Pretty hefty increase.
not employees.
No, I'm talking about people in the county.
Population.
yeah.
count, yeah. And, but you're right, on calls too.
On calls, too.
Yeah, a lot
Is
of-
it really the 4th year that we have to? kick
It's
them?
actually, no, it's actually the 5th year, because what it is, the first year they pay 100%, second year they pay 75, third 50, fourth year they pay 25. On the 5th year, you pick up the 100%.
You already.
Wait a minute, that's not what we
That's
just
not
said.
how, that's not what this
No,
says.
no, that's a different grant, that's a different grant.
I thought
This
this one
one
was
they actually.
completely
Oh, is
paid.
this the, okay,
This is a different
that's the
one.
other one then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the other one he's talking about today.
My
No,
apologies.
this one
You
here,
got
they,
me off on the other one.
they pick up the entire salary for
pick it
3
up.
years. Yeah.
Okay, and on the 4th year, okay.
Yeah, and on the 4th
Wrong
year-
one.
We got
Another grant we were
4
talking
years
about.
to get ready for it.
Yes,
Yes,
sir. Yeah.
you got 3 years.
We've done that
4 years.
before, though.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm ready to vote for all the equipment for 10 new employees, but at this point in time, I don't see a downside to applying.
To apply. Yes, sir.
You know,
That's what we're
I mean,
asking.
I vote for it today, I may not in 6 months, if whenever this comes back, if we have to buy all these cars and all. So that, you know, we'll have to weigh that out at that point in time.
Yeah, well, we applied last year and we weren't.
We didn't get it.
granted
Yeah.
any, so I was thinking, yeah.
So, gentlemen, we do have a motion from
Gives us a
Commissioner Jordan and seconded by Commissioner Sandlin. Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Ball,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Mr. Russell and Sheriff Arnold, if you will stay for just a few minutes. We had a budget amendment that we were going to do later on. We have a motion from Property Management to authorize the county mayor to execute an agreement with Klein, is that Sweeney? Associates to prepare contract documents and bid documents and provide supervision of the jail remediation work not to exceed $37,500. We need a budget amendment to provide for that funding. And gentlemen, this is what you are getting right now.
This
Mrs.
is
Nolan?
To request $37,500 from the litigation tax for jails, workhouse, courtrooms. to be transferred to the capital projects fund for the remediation project.
Move to approve.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Sandlin.
What all does this entail, though? I mean, exactly.
Well, we've been studying for several months now,
Yeah.
some difficulties that have occurred over a period of time as far as just the skin of the building, the brick, and some of the.
Where it's been
lintels
falling
that are-
off? Is
It's-
that
it's,
part?
One or two brick have even fallen, actually. So this is remediation. It will continue to get worse if we don't take some action to go in there, take some of the brick out and put in some stronger iron, et cetera, and redo some of this work. So we've already spent several $1,000s trying to determine what the real source of this problem was. So we've engaged a couple of people to do some studies on this, and they've actually gone in and taken some samples, et cetera. So we finished that study and we've evaluated the options and the alternatives, and we think we have the best approach to be taken now, and we've discussed this with public safety and property management over the course of the last several months, really, and so it's just, we have to move forward with this. We've had to put up two protective coverings, you might say, one at the front and one at the back loading dock, just to be sure we don't incur some falling brick that might injure someone. No one's been injured yet. It's not a catastrophe, but it's something that needs to be taken care of.
This is not a temporary fix. I
This
mean,
is-
this fixes it here.
We're gonna.
This is designed to fix it.
Yeah, this 37.5 designs what we gotta do to fix it, then we're gonna have to take bids. We're putting out bids that will describe in detail what we need to do.
This is designed.
The preliminary estimate on what it's gonna take to fix this is about $300,000. So we'll be back after we get bids.
Spray foam.
Now, these fees are only for the brickwork. That's not anything to do with the plans that y'all
No,
have come forward with.
This is just to put those bids and specs out and to oversee the construction when we get the bids for just the brick remediation only, that's it.
And ultimately, the plan is to pay for it all out of the litigation tax fund?
Yes, sir.
There's about, what, 1.7 million in there, something like that?
1.3.
1.7 gone there.
Wait, no, yeah, 1.7.
1.7.
Well, have you thought about just having somebody tear the brick off and getting a bid to put new brick up around it?
It could be $1 million plus and more if you did that. This is nominal compared to what that would cost.
We're talking about a lot of landfill space right there. Tearing that
I
up.
don't know, you might sell bricks.
Yeah, we can sell brick. $5 a piece.
Vinyl siding.
Vinyl siding.
Gentlemen, do we need further discussion?
Put it on, put it on.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Bond,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Thank you, gentlemen.
Smile when you come up here, don't you?
Thank you for your time.
Y'all have a good one.
Correctional Work Center. Mr. Solandi, good evening. Mr. Solandi, you have two budget amendments. If you will begin with the one where you're decreasing your guards line item
Okay.
for captains and lieutenants.
That'll be line number 160. We are requesting 3792 out of that line item to increase the captains, the line item 109. And also, we want to put 1988 in that line, and line 110, the lieutenant's line, 1804 into that line. We're requesting this because, as you see, the position for the captain last year when they budgeted was under budget based on the pay grade. When we did place that position, that the captain we have now was more experienced, so they had to give him a higher pay grade when we first started. And the lieutenant's position, he resigned and to pay him more for the rest of his salary. That's what the reason we are requesting that increase there.
And if you will turn to the second one, we can take that as one motion. This one is for utilities.
Right, utilities, we're requesting to remove $25,000 from the unassigned fund into the utilities to cover us for the rest of the fiscal year. Determine the electricity, the gas, and water bills, so that should cover us till the end of this month.
What do we still have left out on the guards? You said you pulled that out of the guard situation. How many's still not positions?
Currently, we have
Open positions, right?
One right now, correct.
One, still one. And so I take care of that. And the lieutenant, then you're gonna replace them, of course.
Exactly.
So, okay. Motion to approve, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Sandlin.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner P. Oh, okay. Did you work that one out? Okay. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am.
Mr. Farley, from the County Fire Department. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
And your budget amendment?
I've got one to move 2,200 out of my diesel 412 line item, and then 1,800 out of the county's 425 gasoline into my 425 gasoline, for a total of $4,000, which will amend it up to $7,000 total this year.
Motion to approve. Second.
Larry, how many gasoline, I mean, you don't have any gasoline pumpers or anything like
Got,
that? They're all diesel, aren't they?
I've got 2 pickup trucks and a car, and I think one of the rush units is gasoline.
So you got 2 pickups, 1 car, and brush unit.
Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes.
We also had a discussion with Ms. Nolan. We also have received a grant for 16 sets of turnout gear and some RIC equipment, which is extrication equipment for a structure. And we received that in a total of $52,318, and the county's part would be $26,15, and we wanted to add that on to next year's budget.
I mean, we would put it on this year's budget, but it just can't be done by the end of the fiscal year.
the time we
Because he
bid
has
it
to
out,
bid it. So
and-
that is, what he's bringing forth is something that we need to amend, or not amend, to fix next year's budget, but we'll do that.
We don't need action tonight.
No action, it was more for him to
Make
bring it to
make
you and
aware
let
of
you
it.
know.
So we'll be putting that on. We don't have enough time to bid it out and do all the paperwork before we have to cut this year.
It'll come to us in August then.
Well, I mean, we have time to fix next year's budget. Next week. Next
Or the
week's.
next
But when
meeting.
when we come
Oh,
back
we'll
after a
adjust.
public hearing,
Okay,
then I'll bring forward
Gotcha.
an adjustment for this purpose.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Emergency management, Mr. Hooker? You have one budget amendment.
Yes, ma'am. Had a request to change 2 line items, travel and data processing, $1,000 each to move into communications. We had a miscommunication and a payment for communications bill for satellite communications. It was paid early in the year, and then it was paid just recently, so we ended up paying it twice. But the good news is it's paid for next year.
Move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Jernigan, seconded by Commissioner Jordan. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Pet Adoption and Welfare Services, Mr. Gregory. You have 4 budget amendments,
Yes, ma'am.
and if you will begin with the one for overtime pay.
Yes, ma'am. What we're asking to do is to decrease our attendant line item and our other salary and wages line item and move that over into our overtime pay. We've had quite a few employees that we've had some turnover, and we're having to use some overtime to
to get those back in line.
And you may continue, Mr. Gregory.
The next one that I have is moving $120 out of our attendant line item into our supervisor line item to get that back in line.
That's okay, that's the very next one in our book, but that's fine.
I'm sorry.
That's no problem.
$120 there to get that back in line for the end of the year. The next one that I have is going from other salary and wages over to supervisors. We're asking for $2,280 to move that over. I've had one of the supervisors give a resignation, and this would be to help. We're trying to get her cumulative leave paid out this year so we don't carry that over into next year, if that's possible. I hope that it's going to be.
It's possible.
Okay. The last line item is we're asking to move $11,200 from employee insurance to put that over $1,000 in communication so we can finish out the year there. $1,500 over into our veterinary services to finish out that line item, and $8,700 into our utilities to finish that as well. I do want to mention, I appreciate Ms. Elaine. She worked on all these for me. I want to make sure that she gets some credit on that. She got all these fixed for us.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Sandlin, seconded by Commissioner Schaefer. Discussion?
The employee insurance line, explain that to me a little bit, please.
Well, and that's, had a lot of people. Yeah, he has had people leave, and of course, that's the one that we budget based on who all was there
So that's just
last year.
accumulation?
Well, it's not being used.
Not-
Fewer
Yeah.
people using their
Their insurance.
I don't know, maybe you can't say it or not. Is there a reason that the supervisor is leaving? Or-
Just for personal reasons. We have the position posted, it's open. We are, we've had some turnover in officers through terminations, retirement, those type things. We're getting those numbers back up. I've got 2 that'll be starting over the next 2 weeks. Just takes, we've got a lot of people that are in the flow, 3 or 4 officers now, plus these 2 that are coming in that are just getting their feet wet. So it's gonna be a little bit before we're able to get back up to full steam ahead.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Bond,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Mr. Gregory. Miscellaneous, this is for maintenance agreements. Mayor Burgess and/or Mrs. Nolan.
It appears that we're in charge of the postage meters in the mayor's office, so I don't know, Lisa or Elaine know more about this than I do, but in any event, there's a maintenance agreement on those things and we have to pay it.
It was, the maintenance agreement didn't get paid last year, so it got, we budgeted for one year. So, of course, we paid last year's this year, plus this year's this year. So, where we had money left over last year, it's kind of inverse of what Mr. Hooker had, where he paid twice this year. And he's paid ahead for next year. It's kind of, we missed a payment and got 2 this year.
Motion approved.
Commissioner Jordan.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner P. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Bond,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Mrs. Nolan, unemployment compensation.
This is our best estimate for the end of the year for unemployment. And we need $6,600 from unassigned, $4,500 for Register of Deeds, $1,500 for the Correctional Work Center, and $600 for PAWS.
So moved.
Commissioner Sandlin, thank you.
Actually, well, go ahead.
Yeah, let's get a second. Gentlemen,
Hello.
Second.
thank you, Commissioner Baum. Now, discussion or questions?
Where's,
Thank you, Steve.
these people that must be leaving, must be finding unemployment.
Yes.
It look like a workhouse and all both. We're just replacing people at both of them, so these must quit and then going unemployment.
Yes.
That's all I need. I don't need to get into detail.
We will say that we are disputing every claim that
comes
a person is dismissed for cause. We're disputing those. We're not winning all of them.
We've talked about it before.
As long as been.
It's the law.
I didn't realize there was that much turnover going on in the Register of Deeds.
Just
There's a lot of
It was
money.
just one
Just
one
one.
There's a
person.
lot of people leaving there.
It can take a while, can it, before it
It's just a
It's all squared on.
Right. And,
Move it.
and then they're extended, the time that they can be on it keeps getting extended.
Even has been extended again just in recent days.
I'll finally call them, I need to.
Well, and Rutherford County is a reimbursement employer. We don't pay a percentage
pay
of
anything
salaries
in.
in, it's just when it's filed.
Different
we
than the
pay it.
private sector.
Gentlemen, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Mrs. Nolan, employee insurance.
This is, once again, a cleanup for the end of the year, to take care of the insurance, the employee insurance in juvenile court, $1,377 in the sheriff's department, $500 for a total of $1,877 coming out of our pooled amount.
Motion to approve.
Commissioner Schaefer, thank you. Seconded by Commissioner Jernigan. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Gasoline.
And this is a request to take $2,700 out of our pooled gasoline account, for $1,500 for the county buildings, $500 for reappraisal budget, and $700 for the OIT budget.
Move to approve.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner P.
So it's pulling it out of gasoline.
It's, we have that $58,900, $599, which is just a pooled amount. It's our just-in-case amount.
It's for amendments.
It's for amendments.
For amendments just like this.
Okay. Where are we in the, on this with the gasoline thing that we're doing, or not doing?
For the city?
What are we doing?
We do have a proposal from the city of Murfreesboro to allow us to use their fuel depot. We're evaluating that.
Is it coming to us sometime, or?
What do you mean coming to us?
Like
We're
to
not
the
ready for it to
commission?
come to you because we haven't recommended what we need to do to the property management yet.
We'll finally get the budget.
It'll finally get there at such time as we do
Right.
decide that's the right thing to do. We're looking at that option plus others.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Mrs. Nolan, a drug court budget
Yes,
amendment.
and this is the finance department requesting it, not Mary Schneider. She has some money tied up in a PO, but we're not going to know till the very end. So to safeguard and make sure that there's sufficient funds, we're requesting $400 from undesignated fund balance.
More insurance.
More insurance.
Motion approved.
Commissioner Jordan, seconded by Commissioner P. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
That's my
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes.
Not this one?
Miscellaneous or judgments. Mrs. Nolan.
Okay, yes. This one, at the end of this time every year, we're checking our self-insurance fund that deals with property and casualty. We budget amounts to go in there to pay claims. At the end of the year, we try to see where we are. At this point, our revenues have exceeded our our expenditures have exceeded our revenues by about $500,000. So you will see 3 different amendments trying to replenish the funds back into that fund, and $280,000 is the general fund's share. You will see amendments coming from the ambulance fund and the highway fund later.
But we don't have a whole lot of choice. I'll make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Pease, seconded by Commissioner Jernigan. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Mrs. Nolan, garage gasoline.
And this is a request, again, out of the pooled gasoline account, $15,000 for the garage, the gasoline at the garage, $15,000.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Sandlin. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Gentlemen, staying in Section 3, we will do a revenue adjustment for the Special Purpose Fund. That is the Asset Forfeiture Fund.
So this is a total increase to the assigned fund balance of $1,022.
Motion to approve.
Commissioner Jordan, seconded by Commissioner Jernigan. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Revenue adjustments for the Drug Control Fund.
This is a net increase to the assigned fund balance for $19,900.
So moved.
Second.
Sandlin, seconded by Commissioner Schaefer. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. And from the ambulance service, we'll do the revenue adjustments first.
This is a let's see, increase for trustees commission, $6,330 net increase to assigned fund balance of $389,628.
So moved.
Commissioner Sandlin.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner P. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. And Mr. Nunley, we will go through your budget amendments, starting with the one for patient charges.
This is, has to do with the fact that occasionally we have accounts that get paid twice, maybe by insurance, and then the patient might pay them two, and we have to refund one or the other. This is a request to transfer $17,000 to take care of that, and it primarily deals with an insurance overpayment, which I felt like we probably need to pay rather than let them catch up later on.
Yeah. And the other.
And the other one has to do with overtime pay, and this overtime pay primarily deals with our special events. If you recall, last year I was up here every month transferring money that was paid to us back into the account, so we haven't done that this year. So we need to transfer $20,000 into that, and we actually have that much money in a supervisor's payroll. So we could just transfer that, won't have to hit the fund balance.
Okay, if you will continue, $6,000. Do you have that one? HCA Stonecrest.
The next ones have not been to Public Safety Committee, but I have talked with the mayor about them, and I've talked with Chairman Farley about it. This is a request to transfer $6,000. Actually, HCA Stonecrest paid us last June for their annual contribution to our scholarship account, and we should have put it in the budget, but we did not. And we need that money because paramedic school is getting ready to start, and we actually had 4 applicants for scholarship money this year.
And the decrease for evaluation and testing going to maintenance and repair of your buildings?
We had our HCA unit, HVAC unit, and dispatch went out last week, and we had to shut our dispatch down and move to 911 and dispatch from there because that equipment is so hot in there, we just had to shut it down. And at the same time, in fact, on the same day, we also lost our unit at the MTSU station. Both of them are 12 years old.
Yeah.
So they've already been replaced, and we have the bill to pay.
So move, Madam Chairman, on the notes.
He has one more.
Oh, I didn't flip the page, one more.
And this is the one I just discussed, the ambulance share of the claims judgment, 62,500 for their assigned fund balance.
I'm still in.
Okay. And seconded from Commissioner Jordan. Any discussion or questions for Mr. Nunley? Call the roll, please. Oh,
Done a
excuse me.
good job over here.
I'm sorry. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, staying in Section 3, Industrial Economic Development Fund, Revenue Adjustments and Trustees Commission.
And this is increase of $41 to the trustee commission, an increase for assigned further operations, $4,073.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner P, seconded by Commissioner Schaefer. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Gentlemen, turn to Section 4 in your notebook. Solid Waste Sanitation Fund, and we will do the Revenue Adjustment and Trustees Commission first.
Increase to trustees commission, 1,361. Net increase to assigned fund balance for public health, 313,954.
Motion approved.
Commissioner Jordan, seconded by Commissioner Jernigan. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. And now we have some budget amendments from Solid Waste.
Okay, this is a request to provide, again, sufficient funding for the end of the fiscal year for utilities, maintenance, repair of vehicles, post-closure disposal fees, gasoline, diesel fuel, and to recognize the additional revenue to be received from the waste tire grant and to appropriate the additional revenue for the tire disposal fee. So it's 40,000 decrease from the equipment, 2,200 from asphalt, increase utilities 3,200, 10,000 for maintenance and repair, 2,000 gasoline, 27,000 diesel fuel, a decrease of 25,000 for the post-closure contract with private agency, increase 25,000 for the disposal fees, increase of revenue of 25,000 for other state revenue, and increase 25,000 for landfill disposal fees.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Sandlin. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Section 5, gentlemen, and we will do the Highway Fund revenue adjustments first.
Okay. Highway fund, we have an increase to committed for highway and public works of 540,970, and a net decrease for the assigned for highway and public works of 923,788.
So move.
Commissioner Sandlin, thank you.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner P. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. And budget amendments?
Okay, this has already, I guess, been through
The Highway
yeah,
Commission.
I was just looking, this is the summary of what this one is.
Mhm.
Okay, again, this is the Highways Department and their share of the claims and liability. They have found monies within their budget, $33,925 from their building and contents, $35,930 from liability insurance, $55,000 from the highway equipment, to go into $94,855 for their judgments.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner P.
There's another one.
Oh, there's another one. Oh, this, again, this is for their employee health insurance, $4,460, and they're taking it out of their other equipment line item.
Commissioner P., would you add that to your motion?
Yes.
Thank you.
Second motion.
And seconded by Commissioner Sandlin. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Mr. Sandy. General Purpose School Fund Budget Amendments, Section 6 in your notebooks, please. And Mr. Sandvik, you have quite a few
Yes, ma'am.
recommended motions. Let's see if we can work through these pretty efficiently. If you will begin with classified staff and give the recommended motion, please.
All right. The first amendment is to amend $80,850 in already budgeted classified staff pay and the related $11,856 in benefits to other classified staff lines, and to amend $55,000 in additional unemployment compensation for custodians by amending $55,000 from the custodians' medical insurance line as presented.
I am going to just ask Mr. Sandvik to continue, but I'll take a quick look, and if you have any questions or comments, gentlemen, just give me a signal.
The second amendment is for certified staff. That motion is to amend a total of $473,438 in already budgeted certified salary and benefit dollars in order to cover $284,125 in certified staff pay, $147,000 in unemployment, and the related $42,313 in benefits as presented. The third amendment is for employee insurance, and that is to amend $208,800 in already budgeted employee insurance to the employee insurance lines that need additional funding as presented. The fourth amendment is an adult education grant. It is to amend an additional $39,800 in State of Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development adult education grant revenue account numbers 46,590 and 47,590, and to increase the related expenditures in major functions 71,600 and 72,260 as presented. The fifth amendment is to amend $139,196 of the budgeted central magnet school startup funds to different budget lines as presented. The sixth amendment is for substitute teachers. It is to amend $359,100 in already budgeted substitute teacher pay to the other substitute teacher lines in the budget as presented. The seventh amendment is to amend an additional $995 in additional program-related and miscellaneous revenues, and an offsetting $271,995 in additional expenditures as presented.
That's an expenditure cleanup, so it's, I mean, it's, well, I was just looking to see what was listed, like driver's ed, primary school health, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Most of the revenues tied directly to the expenditures. The eighth amendment is to amend an additional $5,327,988 in net 2010-11 revenues, an additional $849,476 in net expenditures, and to increase the unassigned fund balance by $4,478,512. The ninth amendment is for the Career Ladder Extended Contract. we're asking to amend $22,600 in already budgeted state career ladder and extended contract funds and the related $934 in benefits to other career ladder and extended contract lines, and to also amend $15,506 for vacation payout as presented. The 10th amendment is a cleanup of the non-labor items within major functions. It is to amend a total of $918,744 in already budgeted non-labor expenditures within the major functions as presented. Most of that is moving utility money around.
Since these are all the different funds,
I'll make a motion to approve the first 10.
First 10.
Second.
Commissioner Schaefer, thank you. Any discussion or questions for Mr. Sandvik? I think we've had these in our possession since the joint meeting, I think.
Yes, ma'am.
Number 8 deals with the unassigned fund balance.
Right.
To what extent is this the total amount that will be contributed into that fund?
This is just the revenue side, just where revenues have come in over the original budget, or will be coming in over the original budget. So, and after looking at the May revenue numbers, I'm still very comfortable with these numbers.
Any further discussion or questions for Mr. Sandvik? These are for the first 10. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan, Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. And the next recommended motion is the centralized cafeteria.
And this amendment is to amend the centralized cafeteria fund number 143 for an additional $342,382 in revenues and an additional $342,382 in expenditures as presented.
And we'll just deal with this one separately, gentlemen. Thank you, Commissioner Jernigan.
Second.
Commissioner P, seconded. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Fund 177.
And this is the major capital repairs amendment. This amendment is, or this request is to amend $14,750 in already budgeted expenditures in the major capital projects fund. Fund 177 to trustees commission, architect, and engineering fees as presented.
So moved.
Commissioner Sandlin, thank you. Seconded by Commissioner Jernigan. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies and
Mr.
gentlemen.
Sandvik, thank you. Gentlemen, Section 7 in your notebooks, debt service revenue adjustments. Mrs. Nolan?
And this is a net increase for assigned for debt service of $918,749.
Motion approved.
Commissioner Jordan? And seconded by
Second motion.
Commissioner Sandlin. Thank you.
I'll be easy on that.
Call the roll.
Yeah.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Gentlemen, Section 8. This is a resolution authorizing the issuance of an inter-fund capital outlay note not to exceed $15 million, and this is what our finance director alluded to earlier in the meeting.
I wasn't here evidently yet, so could you run that by me?
Yes, yes. You probably weren't. That's right.
I was 5 minutes late. You already got that in.
Got $15 million.
That was quick.
No, I just, on the cash report, we've got about $1 million in the school capital projects fund, and that was to be paying some of the architect fees, you know, for the Stewart's Creek. They're anticipating opening bids on June 30th, and they'll, I'm assuming, be awarding in July. Then this gives us operating money to pay those contractors until we go to market tomorrow. And we've gone through and what the commission has decided what it is that they're ultimately
We're
going to do.
still thinking timeframe on going to the market.
Fall.
Fall. We're thinking fall.
It just gets us by till
Yeah.
whenever we decide to go to market. And
Palatable.
What we're gonna be
Trustee
doing-
reported earlier about how interest rates are probably not easing up. We probably want to delay this as much as we can, or at least until the forecast changes.
And what we're doing, we're borrowing from the debt service fund.
Yeah. But if we saw on the horizon where interest rates were fixing to jump, then we would want to hurry to go bond, you would think, but.
But they went up a bit, long-term rates did, and were short-term, and they're trending back down again.
Motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Jordan, seconded by Commissioner Sandlin. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes.
Commissioner P?
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin?
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Ely?
Yes. Staying in Section 8, a resolution to adopt the Strategic Economic Development Plan regarding the 3-Star program. Mayor Burgess?
This is the third or fourth year we've done this. It's routine, and that this just puts us in a position from time to time if the state offers some sort of program with grant incentives for us participating. We have this strategic plan, 3-Star plan that we have developed. The Chamber of Commerce has developed this for us, and it allows us, if there's an opportunity to come along, to be qualified. So both of these next two things are associated directly with this 3-Star plan.
So moved, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Sandlin.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner P.
It might just do both.
And
Just a Title VI.
the next one, the federal Title VI regulations, is part of this 3-Star
Yes, ma'am. It is.
program. And then, of course, you have the document there called the 5-year strategic plan. So will you include that in your motion, Commissioner Sandlin, and your second, Commissioner P?
Yes.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes.
Commissioner P? Commissioner P?
Yes, excuse me.
Commissioner Sandlin?
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Ely?
Yes. Gentlemen?
Steering.
Oh, is that right? Okay, that's fine. Gentlemen, Section 9, a 2-year contract with the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation for the provision of emission test compliance enforcement.
And this is, as you said, 2 years to a maximum of $60,000. This is our whopping 25 cents that the county receives
Yeah.
off emissions.
Did y'all remember 25 cents we get for each one?
We don't have any choice.
Yeah?
I mean, it's money coming in for
I know, but
us.
I would just assume we not have to have our cars tested, but that is a rule. We don't have any choice, so motion to approve.
Commissioner
I'll
Jordan?
second that.
Seconded by Commissioner P. You're,
And the comment too, a lot of people think that it's the county charging that $10. We get a quarter out of that $10, so
Yes.
people know.
It
yes.
about breaks us even, doesn't it, on
Let's
the
do it on our
paperwork that
paperwork.
goes through?
That's
Doesn't that 25 cents about break us even on the paperwork that we put?
Probably cost us 35 cents to
Yeah.
process 25 cents.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes.
Commissioner P?
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin?
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Ely?
Yes. A license agreement with the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation for office space located at number 1 South Public Square. Mayor Burgess?
This is the second year for this, and the space over there that we're allowing the state to use for the groundwater program, in lieu of us collecting or charging a fee from the county, they're giving us back a percentage of their fee. And this amounts to $625 a month. It's gone down from about 800 to 625, which reflects again the fact that they're
Permits, yeah.
issuing fewer permits.
Motion approved.
Second.
Commissioner Jordan, seconded by Commissioner Sandlin. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. A contract agreement with Regional Transportation Authority for Relax and Ride program.
Okay, this, again, we've had this Relax and Ride program, which goes from Murfreesboro to Smyrna to Laverne to Nashville every year, and $12,400 is our contribution toward that service. You can see that the other jurisdictions are contributing $12,400 as well, plus Davidson County has more, and TDOT, and some federal funding. So this is our routine annual contract to contribute our $12,400 toward that.
Money well spent.
Money.
Motion to approve.
Commissioner Sandlin, thank you. Seconded by Commissioner Jernigan. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
We'll write it one of these days.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
We tried it.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. A grant contract with the Tennessee Department of Children's Services to provide for community intervention services.
We've got two contracts for the intervention, and one is for custody prevention. The first one, both of these flow through the youth services budget, and it's revenue comes in and we send it back out. It just flows through the county.
Motion to approve both contracts.
Okay, so that's number 20 and number 21 on our agenda.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Schaefer, or Commissioner P. Schaefer, okay. So we're considering both of these.
The first one is $46,448, and the second one is $417,696.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. A request from Judge Ash to submit a grant application to Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee to assist self-represented litigants.
This is a grant that they had applied to a different organization last year. They did not get it, but there is another opportunity, and so this is a request to apply.
What's our obligation?
I don't think any.
None, I mean, this is,
Oh, wait a minute. Is it personnel?
well, it's,
Well-
It's some of our people.
She said that the most this organization would probably contribute would be $10,000, and that Judge Ash thought he could raise $10,000. I don't know through donations or contributions, but I think the most that she should get is $10,000.
This
Well-
is people
But also,
people
I
that's
didn't think that they
representing
could-
themselves instead of getting an
It was-
attorney.
lots of people do that. So this is just creates a video that they can watch and learn and understand what they need to do if they're going to do that.
I remember that from last year.
It's, our technical department is going to contribute an in-kind $5,000, so I don't know how much other real money. So this could be real money, and if we have to pay them part-time people more than we would have otherwise, so.
There's so many places in life you have to have an attorney to do anything. I believe in simplifying the system. Motion to approve.
Second.
Well, all righty then.
Seconded
My
by
opinion ought to be
Commissioner
yours.
Schaefer. Thank you for that editorial, Commissioner Jordan. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baum,
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandlin,
Aye.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ely.
Yes. Any other business? Have we taken care of everything?
I think we've done.
Okay, gentlemen, there is a reminder at the bottom of our agenda of our public hearing on Tuesday, June 14th, and that will be at 7 p.m. So I will see you on Tuesday. Any other business that needs to come before our committee? thank you for working so efficiently through that long agenda, because that is sort of a lot of cleanup, I know, but that went pretty easily. Thank you very much. We are adjourned.